Okay, I am live. I am live. It's been a couple of days, right? I needed, let me put my level down. I needed a couple of days of some mental rest, right? From talking about credit. And because I'm at the gym, I have a little recreational time. I decided to just hop on real quick. Was thinking about some things and to do a live stream so you all can still come in and drop your name and your state if you want to represent. Uh, Someone say hello so I can know that you all can see me well and you can hear me well, right? That you can see me and hear me well. Make sure this Wi-Fi is strong and the sound is good as well because I am on my iPhone, right? So when I get home later, I really want to sit down and have another live on a couple of topics. And it's really old news for people that's in the credit repair industry or world or community. But for some people, it's new news, right? So let me get into the first topic of discussion, which is why do it yourself credit repair does not work. Let me adjust this phone. Why do it yourself credit repair is not working or does not work for you. Now, number one, you know that the credit repair agencies use highly sophisticated electronic systems in order to scan the letters that come through, right? So if you are using letters from a do-it-yourself product, many hundreds of thousands of people are using those same letters. And so the system will automatically scan and recognize that these are reproducible or highly reproduced or recycled letters, right? And once the system, e-Oscar, electronic verification, scan and recognize these letters, then their power becomes more obsolete or less effective. Michael said, thanks for all the knowledge. Thank you so much, Michael. So that's number one. You have to communicate with the credit agencies specifically concerning your accounts and the issues directly, right? For example, for one person, it may be a balance issue, right? Everything on your credit report must be 100% accurate, right? And 100% correct information, right? And so with your dispute, it may be incorrect balance reporting. For someone else, it may be an incomplete account number. For someone else, it may be an unverified account, right? So that's numero uno. So there is no one size fits all for credit repair. It must be analyzed and strategically challenged from the issue or whatever the issue is that's going on with the reporting. Number two, let me see if I can recall these right off the top of my head while I'm trying to grasp air. What most people don't know is there are five smaller, right, credit reporting agencies, right? Small credit reporting agencies that help to verify your accounts, right? Again, you always hear me say everything on your credit report must be 100% accurate and 100% verifiable. Excuse my fingernails if it's getting in the camera, right? And so, oftentimes, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion does not directly verify your account. It is done by the smaller credit agencies, the second party verification smaller credit agencies. So those credit agencies are LexisNexis, ARS, SageScreen, Innovis, and it's a fifth one: LexisNexis, ARS, SageScreen, Innovis, CoreLogic, right? CoreLogic, SageScreen, LexisNexis, ARS, Innovis. So, for example, LexisNexis will verify most bankruptcies, right, and most evictions on your credit report. And so, oftentimes, people and do-it-yourself products does not address these smaller credit agencies. Thank you, Casper, CoreLogic, and their products that they are marketing or selling to you. So, what you have to do to make accounts unverifiable is, especially as it relates to bankruptcies, right? Dispute the smaller credit agencies that's verify the accounts, even evictions, right? On LexisNexis, bankruptcies, sage screens, inquiries, things like that. So now that you dispute or challenge these, you make it unverifiable, right? You make it unverifiable. Hello, Madam Champ. Hello, hello. Hello, Ashley. And Casper, thank you so much. Right. Excuse my fingernails again. Now, what about that second part, right? Unverifiable. I mean, inaccurate. Another credit secret that most do it yourself products do not teach you is when you have inaccurate names and addresses, old addresses, reporting on your credit report, that's inaccurate reporting. And it's also a method of verification of negative accounts. So this cannot be done by simply calling or picking up the phone, asking the credit agencies to delete addresses off of your credit report, right? Sometimes they would do inaccurate names, but oftentimes not addresses, because wherever you receive mail from concerning those negative accounts, whether it's charge offs, right? Whether it's collections, whether it's information about your bankruptcy, wherever that residential address is. And everybody that's live, I want you to do two things for me real quick, because I believe in alchemy. If you're getting free information, show appreciation, right? By taking time to exit out the live chat and hitting the thumbs up to notify more people that I'm live so they can come in, right? And I want you to just comment, right, your name or say hello or city and state. And so what a lot of people don't know is that wherever you receive notification of any negative accounts, whether you were 30-day late on a credit card, right? 60-day late, 90 days late, and your creditor, the bank, is sending you notice of late payments in the mail, that address is connected to the negative accounts. Thank you so much, Facebook, for the digital love. I see the hearts and thumbs up. Thank you so much. And so deleting them is a challenge as well. It's really a service within itself, because honestly, people, usually the first 30 days of credit restoration or repair, right, it should be actually done and getting those addresses and names deleted as well, because it's the foundation of actually getting negative accounts deleted, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me Okay. Martin, that's a different profile picture of you on Facebook. And so, you know, if you are fortunate enough to get names and address deleted in 30 days, as well as deleted accounts, then that's nothing but a win-win. That's a very positive, because getting those addresses that's tied into negative accounts is a credit service within itself, right? So that's whatever point I'm on, number I'm on. And so when do-it-yourself products do not show you how to dispute CoreLogic or LexisNexis, right? You're gonna believe the information. LexisNexis have everything on you since childhood, right? And I tell people all the time, the number one thing people are given, or number two things people are given at birth, is a birth certificate and credit, right? You're provided that social security number so you can obtain credit. And my mission is to teach people how to use credit to get rid of debt, right? So if somebody can type that in for me, just type that in for me. How to use credit to get rid of debt, right? Great difference. Credit is anything that makes you money, right? Debt is anything that takes away your money. So Madam Champ says, what about SageStream or MIB? What about it? I don't know what you're asking me about it. Uh, Also, so that's why a lot of your do-it-yourself, right, products are not working, and or you're getting very little results with the do-it-yourself products. So another nugget, or um, thank you so much, jewel, I want to drop on you all, is that bankruptcies takes 3 years to get removed off your credit report, right? When I first started out consulting people in credit, I would take on bankruptcies and see results in 40 days, and of deletions, see results in 3 months. And then I took on this one client who had a bankruptcy within 2 years, and it took like a year. They had the bankruptcy was about 2 years old of filing. It's a Chapter 7 discharge bankruptcy. And it took almost about a year of working with that client to get that bankruptcy deleted. Uh, it was a learning process for me. I would never take a bankruptcy now that's 2 years of age, because I know that it's going to take up a year of my time to help that client get that removed. And so that's when I spoke with an attorney, and they said it's going to take about 3 years of getting any bankruptcy on the credit report removed. And this is why, because with the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, right, you can get approved for a home if that bankruptcy is 2 years of age or older. You still can get approved for an FHA loan, right? However, if you have a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, right, it's going to take 7 years. And so the credit agencies will fight you tooth and nail to get a 2-year-old bankruptcy deleted, right? Because they know that deletion will free you to get approved for FHA mortgage. And they don't want you before that 2 year time span to get approved for a mortgage, because you have shown a history of a person that has bankrupt their accounts, right? So 3 years maximum to get, especially a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But however, just know that your regular scheduled time to keep that bankruptcy on your credit report would have been 10 years if you did nothing, right? So many people ask me, well, if I can get a mortgage with the bankruptcy reporting even after 2 years, then why get it deleted? Because a lot of people want to position themselves to get approved for business credit, right? And if you have a bankruptcy reporting, period, doesn't matter how old it is, right? You will not get approved for business credit. So I hope you all understood that. My last thing before I go hit the sauna that I want to explain to people is the difference between business credit and vendor credit. You still see a lot of information floating around on social media that you can get business credit with an EIN, right? Employer identification number. That's not true, people. You can get vendor credit with the EIN, right? That means you can get credit directly from that company, that vendor, right? That business to only buy their products and services. You cannot get business credit or specifically business credit cards without using or leveraging your personal credit or your social security. I mean, just think about it. Business credit cards often double or triple the amount of credit limits that they will give to you because they understand this is being used for business use. So you need larger lines of credit than a personal credit card, right? Because you're conducting business. Why would a bank want to give you business credit cards that's double or triple the amount of your personal credit cards if they haven't looked at your personal credit profile to see how well you're managing your personal credit, right? Why would you, for example, give your child $10,000 when they did not manage $1,000 correctly? So you see how they leverage $1,000, right? Are they using it responsibly? Um, whatever they, and then you say, okay, then I can give you more. And that's just a biblical principle as well. And so don't, get it confused um, that you can just get an EIN, get an LLC, and begin to get business credit. Not going to happen. The banks are going to look at your personal credit profile to see how you are managing your personal credit. And unless you have the cash stash or the cash flow, right, then where you don't need your personal credit anymore, then you're not going to get approved for business credit, business lines of credit, or business loan. Let me look at the question. Right, the banks would be dumb if they don't see your personal credit. That would be a dumb move by the banks, right? Uh, but isn't levels and part of process increasing your business profile? I mean, you can increase your business profile. However, getting an EIN number and getting an 80 paydex score is not going to help you get business credit, right? It'll help you get vendor credit. Means you can only buy the products that that company or business sell, like Quill or Home Depot or Lowe's or um, think AutoZone or things like that. So you can get vendor credit, right? And if you're in real estate, that would be a great thing if you could get Home Depot and Lowe's vendor credit for the products that you may need for your rental properties. How can you fix your credit if it's bad? That's a great question. Um, number one, number one, remove all um, incorrect reporting of your person identifiers, your name, misspelling, right? and addresses. If you have more than one clean address report on your credit report, I often recommend Experian. Get an account with Experian, and it's free, no cost to you. And Experian is the only one out of the three credit agencies that provide this information. So when you go to Experian, create a free account. At the top, I think it's the second tab, it's credit reports, right? Once you click on credit report, scroll all the way down to the bottom of that website, and you will see a tab in blue writing that says Visit Dispute Center. Once you click on Visit Dispute Center, it will have the first line of information, will have personal information, right? Click on that personal information, and then click on the addresses that's reporting on your personal information, right? If you select an address that's connected to a negative account, it's going to show you this address cannot be disputed online, and it will have why. And it'll have all the accounts that's connected to that address, right? And that's why that's a dispute process as well. It should be step one of anybody trying to fix their own credit. That's true. Experian does help more compared to Equifax and TransUnion. And so it'll show you that student loan, that charge off, that collection, or whatever is connected to this account. First, get that that address deleted, right? Because that address is used to verify those negative accounts. Number two, then you have to be able to analyze if and what's reporting wrong and with the negative accounts. Is my balance reporting correctly? Is my account complete? Is this unverifiable? Is it reporting 100% accurate information, right, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act? If it's a collection, was it properly placed on my credit report under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, right? So those are things, and that's why, again, oftentimes these pre-template letters or do-it-yourself books of products giving you a template letter is not one size fit all with credit repair. Everybody credit is different, right? All accounts are different, right? Um, and so if you don't know how to analyze a credit report, then you will never really be able to get those credit negatives removed. Team Media, it's not Team Mata. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you so much, Team Mata Productions. Team Mata Productions. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And so I tell people all the time that it's not enough to buy a credit repair software, right? You have to know your craft. You have to know your craft. You have to know these things, how to analyze the credit report, and then you have to know how to dispute it, right? From what strategy to dispute it from, and what law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to use to dispute it. So Team Model Production said, so what's the purpose of DNB? Aren't they the agency that provides your business credit worthiness? And thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, let me stop peddling so I won't be breathing hard to answer this question. The purpose of DNB, my AirPods have 20% life, so let me start talking fast. That's a great question with business credit. Dun & Bradstreet, you need credit cards that's going to business credit cards that's going to report to both DNB and Experian Credit, right? Some people just get business credit cards. Like, for example, Capital One. I would never advise anyone to get a Capital One business credit card because that credit card also reports to your personal credit report. right? So, any uses on that card will affect your personal credit report as far as your debt ratio reporting when you use that card. So you have business credit cards, and you need to make sure it reports to DNB and Experian Credit. Now, right off the top of my head, I can't recall all of the credit cards, but I will give you one, for example, that does that, and that is Chase. Chase reports to DNB and Experian Credit. And the third thing about Chase is that it does not report to your personal credit. So Chase is always a win-win, right? Chase Business Inc. And so I don't want to call out other credit cards, and I'm not wrong, and I'm wrong, and I'm not in front of my laptop. I could pull it up, but I do know that Chase does that as well. Amex, Madden, and uh, I think Amex reports to DNB, but it does not report to Experian Credit. So I like, but don't I have to I have to put it up, right, to make sure. And I'm on my phone. I can't do that right now. But give me a couple of hours. I'll go live again, maybe around 8 Central Standard Time, and I give you all a direct list of the credit cards because of the $50 super chat. I think I owe you all that, of the credit cards that report both to DNB and Experian. Now, Angel Rice says studying the laws help. Yes, that do. Studying the laws help, and being able to study the law and analyze how negative accounts are being placed on reporting on your credit report. And back to the credit repair software. I tell people you must know your craft, right? The only reason why I have invested in credit repair software is because if I was to analyze a credit report manually, it would take me maybe an hour or an hour and a half, right? If I do it through my credit repair software, it could take up to 5 minutes. It scans, produces a report, let me know the negatives, produces so much more information, statute of limitations. That's the only reason why I use credit repair software. To be honest with you, the ones that I looked at, their template letters are not effective, but I don't use it for the template letters. I use it so it can help me perform my credit analysis or credit audit at a faster pace. I have my own separate letters that I create on my own. And so let me see, what other questions do I have? So yes, first start with that if you're fixing your own credit. Also know and fixing your own credit that if you remove all negatives on your credit report, you're going to have some positives reported, right? Your credit score is like a math equation, right? And so if no positive are reporting, then it can't boost your credit score. And I always tell people, do not ever get secured credit cards, right? Always get you primary trade lines, right? Do not get secured credit cards because a secured credit cards puts you in a category as a risky borrower, right? And so that means you will always be at sub level offers, or you'll always get offers from like Capital One, who's for subprime lenders, which means in very simple terms, right, that you won't be able to get the very lower interest rate and the best offers of credit, right? So don't get secure credit card. You'll be best with getting primary trade lines added, and um, and then applying for the major Visa, MasterCard, Amex credit cards, right? Um, Secured loans, um, they still put you in the same category. And to be honest with you, a lot of people sometimes are cash poor. And even if the secure loan that they have is like $1,000 or 2,000, they take a loan against it, then that's really not enough if you're trying to get the higher credit limits, because what Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover look at is your larger lines of credit to see if they will approve you for larger lines of credit, right? So even if you get a secured loan, The credit cards, which is unsecured, right, we'll look at unsecured trade lines, not necessarily those installment loans that you have, because installment loans do not have like a credit limit. So you want primary trade lines, right, um, with a credit limit. Okay, madam, champ, peace to you. Can you can you pay a collection to delete with collection company? What about the original creditor? Why would they delete if you pay the collection company? Can you pay a collection company to delete? Yes, if you're going to pay a collection debt and a collection company has agreed that they're going to delete that from your credit report before you submit payment, and I would not submit with a check because the check have your routing number and account number information. So definitely with a money order, then I would have something in writing from the collection agency stating that upon receiving this payment, that the deletion will, it, they would delete the collection off your credit report, because if it's not written, it's not real. And so oftentimes people pay because they have a phone conversation, and the debt collector will tell them in the phone conversation, yeah, we'll delete this if you just run the submit payment, and they pay via phone, and is no really contractual agreement to do that, and the collection stays. And a paid collection reporting on your credit report is still a collection, right? Um, and so it won't get many people over that 700 credit score they're seeking to get. And another thing about secure credit cards too is that when you have secure credit cards, reporting your credit report, a lot of people won't get over that $700. 700 credit score threshold, right? It'll keep them at the low or mid 600s, below 700, because again, you you're already a risky. You're categorized as a risky borrower, and so they will not give you. You won't get over that 700 credit score a lot of times because of those secure credit cards, right? If you already paid a portion, then I would definitely ask them to put it in writing if you made agreement that by paying that collection, they will be deleted off your credit report. That's why a lot of people question, should you even pay collections, because you can get it deleted from your credit report by simply stating the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act and combining with the Fair Credit Reporting Act to get it deleted without payment, right? Because the debt collector must validate the debt, right, under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, but under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it must be verified. So if the debt collector did not validate it, right, then and Fair Credit Reporting Act didn't verify, then you have the grounds and rights to get collections deleted from your credit report. And that's why I tell people, don't ignore those debt collection letters that you get in the mail that give you the right to ask for validation within 30 days. Because after that 30 day, you've just waived your rights, right? You just waive your rights, and they have the right to take you to court and then sue you for the collection, right? And so you definitely want to learn the debt validation laws and what proper validation is. Uh, for example, if they send you an itemized statement or a bill, that is not debt validation, right? That is not debt validation. And so I think I covered all the topic, the difference between business credit and vendor credit, why do-it-yourself credit repair doesn't work, right? And another thing I want to tell people is, if you're going to invest in AU trade lines is also called piggybacking, right? Piggybacking is riding the the good history of someone else's credit card, right? So let's say you have an Uncle Robert, and Uncle Robert has good credit, right? And you say, Uncle Rob, I need to be added to your credit card as an authorized user. He doesn't have to give you the credit card to use, but you can inherit Uncle Robert good credit by him adding you as an authorized user, right? You want to make sure that the balance is low on the credit card, 30% or less of the credit limit. So if it's a $5,000 credit card, you want to make sure that Uncle Robert keeps the balance at $1,500 or less. You want to make sure there are no late payments in the last 2 years, and that it's a good credit card that's always paid on time. And so you can inherit that history, right, by being added as an authorized user. And authorized users was always set up so it can pass generational wealth to your children or family members. But this is the thing: people try to add authorized user trade lines. Sometimes they purchase it through a business or a wholesaler, and they still have negative items on their credit report. And when you purchase it versus inheriting it from a friend or family member, right? You only have a certain amount of time that they will keep you on their as an authorized user, maybe 2 or 3 months. That will only increase your credit score probably about 75 points, right? And if you're buying it, it's only going to last 3 to 4 months, which means once you're dropped as an authorized user, your credit score will lower again. So this is really a strategy with people that have no credit, not people that have bad credit. Because what happens is, for example, if you have a 17-year-old child, you add them as authorized users on your good credit cards, and now you give them a two primary trade lines, right? You have to do both. Thank you so much for the 199 super chat as well. Um, you have to do both. Now, as an authorized user, when they turn 18, they can have a high 700 credit score. Then the primary trade line helps them to get good credit. So you just don't want pretty credit. Some people have 800, 780 credit scores, but they don't have powerful credit, meaning that even in the high 700s or 800s, they still cannot get business credit, right? So you don't want just pretty credit. You want powerful credit, and you want that business credit that does not report on your personal credit report, and that reports the DNB and Experian credit as well. Mojo says, I paid off a collection, but I never got a deletion letter and got screwed. Is there hope for me submitting a dispute through the bureau so I can get it deleted? Sure, you can get it deleted. You have to know the laws in order to get that. Well, just because my daughter had a 750 credit score just because I added her as an authorized user, but she didn't get approved for business credit because she didn't have primary accounts. So but what adding her with AU Trade Line did was give her my history as well as my high credit limit cards. So now when she get the primary trade lines, right, she can get approved for high credit limit cards as well. Uh, so it's not just being on someone's AU that gives you powerful credit. It gives you pretty credit, but not powerful credit. Pretty credit is just for people who maybe need extra points to get approved for a home or maybe a vehicle, but you can't tap into that business world. And I want people to tap into the business world. American Express, and I'm signing out because my AirPods is getting low. American Express does not report your credit history. It only reports the credit limit and the utilization, right? So it will not give that person history, but it will give them good utilization. And if it's a high credit limit card, then they can get approved for high credit limit. And let me tell you all something, people. Credit history is 35% of your credit report. And that's why bankruptcy is so detrimental, because bankruptcy wipes away your credit history and you're starting all over. And credit sweeps, that's why they are so detrimental, because credit sweeps can wipe away credit history, right? If you're not doing it correctly. You can be 50 years old and have the credit profile of an 18-year-old, right? And so you're talking about a 35% category of your credit being wiped out. So Last question, then I'm logging off. Do you need a business for a business credit? Why would you get business credit if you don't have a business? Of course. Of course, you need a business for business credit. Um, Most people start with an LLC or LLC tax as an S corp. For example, if you're a real estate investor, you just need an LLC because you already get tax deductions from real estate. So you don't need to be taxed as an S corp. However, if you earn passive income, one of my passive income streams, for example, is a home-based business. And so my home-based business entity is an LLC, but taxed as an S corp because at the end of the year, with my home-based business, I will receive a 1099 in the mail for income for tax purposes, right? And I will save on taxes on that income if the LLC is set up as an S corp. So that was worth the $50 super chat as well. Uh, so of course you need business for a business credit. So uh, get that done. Get you a business checking account, an EIN, LLC, or LLC S corp. Always consult whoever is forming your business entity for that advice, but you're still going to have to leverage your personal credit, even with those things in place, right? If you do not have the cash flow to get business credit cards, business lines of credit, or even business loans, you'll need some type, for a business loan, you'll need some type of collateral as well as that business formation in place. So, hey, I'm logging off. I think my AirPods are getting low. So, if you just coming in, make sure that you take the time to hit the like button. I believe in alchemy, right? Show appreciation um, for the free information, right? And also, if you want to get in contact with me, let me see if I can do this without getting too much in the camera. Go to my website at www.fixmycreditandcash.com. You need a credit analysis. It's a one-time investment, small investment of 125 to look to help you with credit consultation. If you cannot get those collections charge offs, bankruptcy 3 years or older, um, or any other negative reporting off your credit report, and you can get started there. I'm signing off. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful comment. And again, for the $50 super chat. I appreciate you all. Let me answer this last question for my AirPods give out of value. What can I do if a collector keep inputting the same debt, extending the statute of limitations? I have older debt and the collector keeps putting as a collection every month. Well, the collection will report as a collection every month as long as it remains on your credit report. However, you need to check the statute of limitations in your state. Like Mississippi is 3 years, but in Kentucky it's 15 or 10, one of them. Ohio is 15. So check the statute of limitations on on that debt. That means the creditor can come after you for that amount of years and collect. However, um, oh, you're saying the debt collectors keep putting it as a new collection every month. Well, the date of last activity will always report on your credit report on negative accounts, and it can't be updated unless it's addressed, right? So my AirPods at 5%. I'm signing off. You all have a great day. And I may be back live maybe in a couple of hours. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button.